During my baby shower, my best friend said, "I have a gift." She handed me a box. Inside was a picture of her kissing my husband. My mother screamed, "Tell me this is fake." My husband sat frozen. I wiped my tears and said, "Thanks. I have a gift too." When I pulled out the prenup, his jaw dropped. I never thought my life would take such a turn. I'm 32, living in New York City, and married to David, who's 34. We've been together for 5 years, and I'm pregnant with our first child, a baby girl. My best friend, Rachel, and I have been inseparable since college. We've shared everything, from late-night talks to vacations. I trusted her completely. The day of my baby shower arrived. Our apartment was filled with pink and white decorations. Friends and family gathered, laughing and celebrating. Rachel had organized everything, and it seemed perfect. As the afternoon sun streamed through the windows, Rachel stood up and clinked her glass. "I have a special gift for you, Sarah," she said, her voice trembling slightly. She handed me a neatly wrapped box, her hands unsteady. Curious, I unwrapped the box and opened the lid. Inside was a single photograph. My heart stopped as I saw Rachel and David kissing. The room fell silent. My mother gasped. "Tell me this is fake," she demanded, her voice shaking. David sat frozen, his face pale. Tears filled my eyes, but I refused to let them fall. I took a deep breath and said, "Thanks, Rachel. I have a gift too." I reached under the table and pulled out our prenuptial agreement. David's jaw dropped. "David," I continued, my voice steady, "according to our prenup, infidelity means you get nothing. This marriage is over." The room remained silent as I stood up. I turned to Rachel, who looked down. "I trusted you," I whispered, before walking out, leaving behind the shattered pieces of my life. In the days that followed, I leaned on my family and true friends for support. The betrayal cut deep, but I knew I had to stay strong for my unborn daughter. I focused on preparing for her arrival, finding solace in the innocent life that would soon be in my arms. David tried to reach out, begging for forgiveness, but I couldn't respond. The pain was too fresh. Rachel disappeared from my life entirely. The woman I once considered a sister had become a stranger as the months passed. I found strength I never knew I had. I attended therapy sessions, joined support groups, and slowly began to heal. The experience taught me the importance of self-love and resilience. When my daughter, Lily, was born, I looked into her innocent eyes and vowed to provide her with a life filled with love and honesty. The past was painful, but it shaped me into the mother I didn't cry that night. I couldn't. I sat on the floor of my bedroom in silence while the sounds of the baby shower faded in my mind like background noise in a bad dream. I just stared at that picture again and again. Rachel and David. His hands in her hair. Her mouth on his. It was real. 3 days later, David showed up at my door. "I need to explain," he said. His face was red, his voice shaking. "It wasn't like that. It just happened once." I laughed. Really laughed. The kind of laugh that feels cold, not funny. Was it just once when she organized the whole baby shower for us? When she picked up my vitamins from the pharmacy and texted me that she was just being a good friend? I held up my phone. "You kissed her in our kitchen, David." He looked stunned. "You had cameras?" "No," I said. "Rachel sent me more pictures. After the shower. Said I deserved the truth." He blinked, silent. His mouth opened and closed like he wanted to say something, but nothing came. That's when I realized. He wasn't sorry. He was just caught. So I kicked him out. Told him my lawyer would be in touch. Then came the second wave of betrayal. 2 weeks later, Rachel posted a picture of them, together. Smiling. In Central Park, holding hands. Her caption? "Real love always finds a way." I wanted to scream. My phone blew up. Friends sent me screenshots. My cousin called me crying. My mom wanted to drive down and knock on some doors. I felt like the whole world was watching me try not to fall apart. But then something happened that I didn't expect. David's sister, Megan, called me. "We need to talk," she said. "It's about Rachel." We met up at a diner in Queens. She looked like she hadn't slept in days. "She's not who you think she is," Megan said. "Rachel, she's been obsessed with David for years." I didn't want to say anything before, but she used to message him. "Even before you two got married." I froze. "What?" "She used to flirt with him at family events." I always thought she was joking. But then last year, at my engagement party, she cornered him. Told him she could make him happier than you ever could. My throat tightened. And get this, Megan leaned in, lowering her voice. She got a job at his office. 6 months ago. Transferred departments just to work on his floor. He didn't tell you, did he? No. He hadn't. I was shaking. Megan reached into her bag. Pulled out a manila envelope. "She mailed this to my house. No return address. I think she meant to scare you off." Inside were photos. Dozens. Of me. At home. Walking to the grocery store. Even one of me sleeping on the couch, clearly taken from outside my window. "She's not just a cheater," Megan whispered. "She's dangerous." I clutched my stomach. My baby kicked for the first time then, like she could feel the fear crawling up my spine. That night, I didn't sleep. I changed the locks. I set up cameras. I told my lawyer everything. And still, something didn't feel right. Then came the real twist. A few days later, David showed up again. Not at my door, but at my OB appointment. I sat in the waiting room when he walked in like nothing was wrong. "What are you doing here?" I hissed. "I'm the father," he said. "I have a right to be involved." The nurse stepped in, noticing the tension. "We can reschedule if." "No," I said, standing. "He's not coming in." But David wasn't done. "You think you can just cut me out? That baby is half mine." I looked him straight in the eyes. "Then you should have thought about that before you kissed my best friend." He didn't flinch. But his eyes had something in them. Not guilt. Not shame. Desperation. And that scared me more than anything. After the incident at the clinic, I called my lawyer and told him everything, David showing up uninvited, trying to wedge himself into the pregnancy after the betrayal, and Megan's warning about Rachel. My lawyer sighed. "We need to escalate this. Now." A week later, we filed for a restraining order, not just against Rachel, but David too. It wasn't just the cheating anymore. It was harassment. Obsession. The way Rachel had watched me, tracked me, it felt like something out of a crime show. But here's where it got worse. 2 days after the paperwork was filed, I got an email. From a burner account. No name. Just one sentence. "If you take him from me, I'll take everything from you." Attached? A video. It was footage from the baby monitor I had in my bedroom, just me, sleeping, one hand on my belly. The timestamp was from 2 nights ago. I lost it. I called the cops immediately. They dusted for fingerprints, checked the locks, everything. But there was no forced entry. No sign of a break-in. The detective asked, "Does anyone have a spare key?" Only one person did. David. I changed the locks again. Cancelled everything online. Stayed with my mom for a few days in Brooklyn. That's when I found out Rachel had lied about more than just the affair. Remember that office job she transferred into? Yeah. That wasn't a transfer. She faked a job offer to get into the building. Literally. She forged HR emails and used someone else's credentials. Megan confirmed it. She had a friend in IT who found out Rachel had no employee ID. She wasn't even on the payroll. And then it hit me. Rachel had planned all of this. From the moment I announced my pregnancy, she started inserting herself into our lives more. Volunteering to help. Texting David more often. Showing up uninvited. Organizing the baby shower at our home. She wanted this. She wanted my life. And David? He was just weak enough to fall into it. But what Rachel didn't know was that I had backup. Megan. My rock through all of this. She came over one night, eyes wide, holding her phone. "You're not going to believe this," she said. Rachel had created a fake social media account. Pretending to be me. Posting updates about the pregnancy, photoshopping images to make it look like David was still living with me, writing captions like "We're finally happy." It was creepy as hell. We took everything to the cops. The detective was speechless. "We don't see this often," he said. "This is more than cheating. This is stalking. Identity fraud. Maybe even attempted coercion." But the final twist? Came the day I went to the bank. I was checking over my accounts, making sure all my personal info was locked down, and then I saw it. 2 credit cards. Opened in my name. Maxed out. Guess who the shipping addresses belonged to? Rachel. And guess who co-signed one of them? David. They weren't just sleeping together. They were building a life, with my name, my credit, and my identity. This wasn't a love affair. This was a setup. And I had just found the receipts to prove it. It all came to a head the day of the court hearing. I showed up early, wearing black. Not for fashion, mourning. For the life I thought I had. My mom sat beside me. Megan too. She gripped my hand like we were on a battlefield, and in a way, we were. David walked in first. He looked tired, pale. Not his usual polished self. Then Rachel followed, dressed like she was heading to brunch, not court. She gave me a smug smile. That did it. I stood up, walked across the room, and slapped the folder of documents right into the clerk's hand. "Evidence," I said. "Fraud. Harassment. Identity theft. Unauthorized use of my social security number. Illegal surveillance." Rachel's smirk vanished. David's face fell. It wasn't just a confrontation anymore. It was exposure. The judge asked me to speak. I kept my voice steady, even though I could feel my baby pressing against my ribs. "I trusted them," I said, staring straight at David. "I built a life with him. I planned a future. And I thought I had a friend who had my back." Rachel interrupted. "It was never supposed to go that far, shut up." My mom snapped from the bench. "You wormed your way in, and now you want to pretend you're the victim?" Megan stood, pointing at Rachel. "You stalked her. You stole her identity. You used her unborn child as a prop in your little game. You think anyone's going to feel sorry for you?" Rachel's face turned red. "David told me he wasn't happy. That she controlled everything." David lowered his head. That silence? That was the truth. He had told her those things. But instead of working through our problems, he handed my life to the one person I trusted the most. I looked at him and said, "You told her I controlled everything?" "No, David. I protected everything. Our home. Our baby. Our future. You didn't lose control, you gave it away." His lips trembled. For the first time, I saw it, not just guilt. Regret. But too little, too late. Rachel exploded. "I loved you, David. I gave up everything. You said you wanted to leave her." David looked at her, finally speaking up. "I never said I loved you." Rachel blinked. "You were just there." That broke her. She lunged at him, right there in the courtroom. screaming, crying, hitting his chest. Officers had to pull her away. She kept yelling, "You said you'd choose me. You said she was just a body carrying your kid." My heart stopped. My body? Is that all I was to him? The courtroom froze. And I felt the world fall away. My mother gasped. Megan looked like she was going to be sick. And me? I just sat back down. Calm. Cold. Dead inside. The judge dismissed Rachel from the courtroom. Charges would be filed, she'd face fines, maybe jail time. David? He walked out on his own. No handcuffs. Just shame. After the hearing, he tried to talk to me in the hallway. "I never meant to hurt you," he said. I was confused. "You weren't confused," I said. "You were selfish." He reached for my hand, but I stepped back. "I'm done, David." And I meant it. My baby girl was born 2 weeks later. I named her Hope. Not for what had happened, but for what could come after. Rachel disappeared from public life after the trial. Her friends stopped returning her calls. Her Instagram went dark. David tried to visit the hospital. I told the nurse to deny him access. He left a note, "I'll always love her. Please let me be part of her life." I didn't respond. Maybe one day we'll deal with custody. Maybe not. Right now, all that matters is Hope is safe. I am safe. Megan moved in for a few months to help. My mom cooked enough meals to feed a small army. And I rebuilt. Slowly. Quietly. I still check the locks twice every night. I still don't sleep easily. But I'm standing. People talk about betrayal like it's a single act. But it's not. It's 1,000 small choices stacked on top of each other. It's text messages deleted. Doors left unlocked. Words left unsaid. It's a friend smiling at you while already holding the knife behind her back. I don't know if I'll ever trust the same again. But I know this, I chose peace over revenge. I chose my daughter over drama. And I chose myself, finally. Maybe that's the real victory. Maybe that's enough.